guys, and welcome back to another Maker ASMR video. Today, I am going to be making a sort of blueprint for this abstract owl that I'm going to be making for a belated Christmas / birthday gift for my little sister. I have two pictures that I found that I really like. One has a slightly different tail, so I'll be going to that one afterwards. I'm not much of a artist, so if I can sketch, I usually do what I can that way and then I won't have to take measurements and try to get things just right, because being slightly a perfectionist sucks that way as well. So I'm going to be sketching this out here, and we'll then move it over to a larger, thicker type of stock paper, so it actually can take on the elements of the backyard and handle sparks and that kind of stuff. So this owl here, I'm not 100% sure what kind of owl it is. I do believe it's a true owl, but I'm not 100% on that. There's over 220 types of species, is the word, of owls out there. And they divide them up into two different types of genres. One being true owls, which only take up 19 of the species apparently. I don't like that. I want that to be more curved. Also, I don't have pencil. I finally got home and all my pencils are missing. So barn owls, one of the two species that are types of owls, only has 19 or so in its category, whereas the other category, the true owl, I don't know why barn owls aren't true owls, but they have over 200 in theirs. But it's the odd barn owls that are picky to be in the category, because a barn owl has a heart-shaped face, strong legs, and strong talons, and are usually mid-sized owls, whereas a true owl, I don't like that either. I messed that up twice in a row. Whereas a true owl can be any size at all. It can, and it doesn't have to have the heart-shaped face and whatnot. The smallest owl is called an elf owl, and it only grows to be 1 ounce in weight, and it's about 5 inches tall, that tall. That's nothing. Is that even a bird? And that's full grown. I don't know if that even counts. The hardest thing is getting things symmetrical. I really want them to be symmetrical, because if it's a project like flowers or something I really want to be close to representing an actual size, I'll go and I'll measure out with rulers, and I'll take it apart and dissect the way it is and get a really good representation of it. But with something like this, once I get it out there, I'll just cut my pieces to size and work them until they're how I want them to be. And I think it's a little more fun that way. Gives you a little more artistic flair to it. It's not so by the book. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not a barn owl because of its heart-shaped face is upside down. I mean, yes, it has it's kind of like that, but when you see some of those other owls that have the face that's like this, it definitely looks like it's a heart, whereas this is not so much. Oh no, what did I do to my line? There we go. But those are actually, the reason its face is like that is because it acts as a funnel for sound. Owls, being like me, a almost purely nocturnal animal, have to have really good hearing. Their eyesight's not the best. They're farsighted. They can't see things close up very well, but their hearing is impeccable. And it's kind of funny, these guys here, which are commonly, people think they are their ears, right? Like, those are ears. They look like dog ears, they stand up off its head. But that's not actually the case. They're actually more for camouflage. No, they're not more for, sorry. They are for camouflage. They don't act as ears whatsoever. Owl's ears are actually on the side of its head, and some owls actually have their ears offset, so one will be higher than the other, and that allows it to really pinpoint where its prey is underneath shrubbery and leaves and stuff, because owls hunt mice and things like that, and it really allows it great accuracy when hunting, which is pretty cool. And a barn owl, is it barn owl? Did I mess that up? Is that what it's called? I could have been messing this whole thing up this whole time. Oh no, I was right. Yeah, it's barn owls and true owls. Barn owls can eat up to 1,000 mice in a year. 1,000 mice. That's a lot of mice. So I don't think farmers probably actually mind having them in their barn. Keep the critters at bay. And that's if they don't even have kids. Which is a pretty odd thing too. A little selfish, but no, not selfish, I'd say, but survival of the fittest, is that owls will actually, in times of hunger or low food supply, will only feed the strongest of its children, the most likely to survive. Which is understandable, but at the same time, like, ooh, that's brutal. And then once a owl's children are strong enough to leave the nest, they don't go very far for the first little bit. They're like the kids that they want to leave, but they don't want to be too far away from their parents, so they move down the street, move into a house where they can still do their laundry at home. But in this case, the owls will live in the same tree as their parents, and occasionally the parents will, bring food over for dinner, have a family meal until after the first winter. And then usually after the first winter, the baby owls will be fine to go off on their own. I'm not sure how they teach them to fly, but I do know that owls' flight is actually silent. It, unlike other birds, where when the wind and the air comes over their wings to give them lift, as it comes over the crest of their wings, the front edge, why is this being so hard to get round? As the air comes over the front crest of a bird's wings, it creates a lot of turbulence. And that turbulence actually creates a lot of noise. And that's not very useful, for lack of a better word, when you're trying to hunt very fast prey that's scurrying across the ground that also have good hearing. So owls have things called a flooding edge, and it basically has little combs. So like this was the edge of the wing. It has these little comb-like barbs that stop the air from bundling up and causing that turbulence that makes their noise. And that is what allows owls to fly silently through the night. You'd never even know they were there. It's like that horror movie that came out a few years back, probably more than a few years now. But I thought that was just the most ridiculous movie. I get very scared of horror movies, and that one was just stupid. The scariest part of that movie was in like the credits, and they showed what was actual footage of the events that transpired, that this movie was based off a true story. And that was much more scary than anything that happened during the movie in and of itself. Oh no, I'm messing up this eye. I actually have I found them over the holidays, this little craft store, and it's two little like steampunk gears, brass gears, and a little brass anchor that I'm going to be using for the eyes and nose of the owl. And I think that will look really good, because if I can finish up this here quickly. Boom. I can show you. So the wings on my guy aren't going to be like this. They're probably just going to come down kind of out this way, but then fold in, and not so fancy as this one is. Fold into this curve here, like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Am I mucking this up? Or do you think it will turn out pretty well? Because I think it will turn out pretty well. Now I gotta get this symmetrical. I could like put a lot of ink here and just fold the paper over. Because being a tradesman, I'm not necessarily great at making things square and symmetrical, but my eye will tell me if it's not, and it will drive me up the wall. Okay, this is gonna come out like this. Get to the back. Oh no, I'm mucking it up. There we go. Okay, no, I think I got it. This is gonna come down. No, why is it so much wider? No, what did I do? Because I followed this more. And then I gotta follow that like that. And then brought it into here. Except that's a little too sharp. There we go. I think I can live with that right there. If only I could erase that, but no pencil. Yeah, so as I was saying, the outside of this owl is going to be like bicycle chain, but slightly thicker for the outline. And then the body of this owl is going to be different size nuts of different color and size, and then I think for the wings I'm going to use a washer pattern, and it'll just be tacked together washers. You'd have like your first one, and then it would overlap like this. And I used that technique for my dad's Christmas gift for fish scales, and it turned out wonderfully. And I think that would give a good kind of pattern to the wings. And then in here for the eyes, I think I'll use just some Ready Rod that angles towards the center of the pupil. So this guy here and here would be Ready Rod, and then there would be nuts that took this shape here. So they would actually probably be a lot larger here, and then they would get smaller as they came into this crevice, like that. Okay. Now I have a picture for a better tail here. There. Now these two pictures I'm imagining they're done by the same guy. They look very similar, but slightly different, as you can tell. But I like the way this guy has little talons. And he has this branch, and the way he has these back tail feathers, because I think I'm going to want to do these back tail feathers on mine as well. It will just give more depth to my owl. Actually, I might do patterns like this underneath as well. And these would be like these guys here would be black, whereas these ones here would be silver. And then it would, just alternate and give some pattern to the owl's body. I think they'll turn out really well. And then off to the side here, I'll obviously have some kind of tubing that will have weld going up and down it. An offshoot that the owl will sit on, and down here will be some sort of root system. Ooh, maybe up here I can use washers as well, and then make a flat plate of them, and then bend them out and make it kind of bushy for the top of this tree. That would be interesting. Round that out. there's no cursive, but if you can tell by my doodling, my printing is atrocious. Is there anything else I want on this guy? Oh, I know. I got him here. These little buggers are actually the pieces. Oh, sorry. That I'm going to be using for the things. So this little guy here are going to be the eyes. These little brass gears. And this little brass anchor will be for the nose. Just like that. And with the difference between the silver of the ready rod and some of the nuts, and then the black outline of nuts here, and the black outline of the chain that's going to make the frame of the owl, and the silver of the tree, I think the brass will look really nice popping out against it and give more of a definition to its face. It will really draw you into that, and I think that will look really well, look really good. Ooh, come here, you buddy. Come here, you little bugger. That'll come out good. Little hoo, hoo. Although a lot of people, they like, obviously, and even I personally have heard an owl hoo, but a lot of them make like hissing noises, and I definitely wouldn't want to come across something like that in the middle of the night. That'd be terrifying. That'd be pretty bad. Awesome. I think this is going to turn out really well, and if you guys think this is going to turn out well, I'd really appreciate some comments down in the comments below. And if you think of anything I could possibly add to this to make it better, feel free to say so as well. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll put in some links in here for other videos that I've done, and I have some great ideas for videos to come up soon. So until that time, I wish you guys a good day or a good night, depending on where you are when you're watching, and I will see you later.